Welcome back to Hogwarts Legacy Part 10. Today we're going to return back to Madame Kodawa, and we just completed her assignment, so we'll get to learn a new spell. So let's get it.
Madam Kagawa, I completed the list of tasks you assigned.
Wonderful. I trust you became more familiar with your broom through the process?
Yes, Professor.
That's good to hear. Keep it up, and perhaps one day you'll have a spot on the Quidditch team. If Black ever permits Quidditch again. Well, with those tasks out of the way, let us get started. Glacius. Pay attention to your wand work.
Looks like we'll be learning the spell Glacius, and it looks like a glacier. Looks like a iceberg or something, so let's get it, and I'm sure it'll be a useful spell. And we missed that last one on accident. Oh well, but we still get it. So we learned Glacius. Hopefully that'll come in handy. So let's assign this new spell into our wheel real quick, and let's practice on the target in the room. Let's get it. There we go. It's in our spell wheel. So let's let the guy knock down real quick. And we can learn one more spell from Professor Garlic, so we'll meet you there, and we'll learn a new spell from her. We'll see you there at Professor Garlic's. We just finished the assignments that Professor Garlic asked of us. She helped our plant grow right there. So let's go learn a new spell from her. Should be exciting. And we see our friend struggling with some chomping cabbages right there. But this is our herbology class the second time around. So let's go talk to her and learn that new spell. Let's get it. The pace in which we've been learning spells has been pretty nice, so very helpful when we take out our opponents.
My assignments, Professor.
Pleased to hear it. Professor Weasley will be too. I'll be sure to let her know how well you're coming along.
Thank you, Professor.
Professor Hecat tells me she taught you Levioso, so you should be ready for a more advanced levitation charm. Wingardium Leviosa requires a bit of concentration and a nice, graceful wand movement. Let's see you try your hand at it.
Alright, here we are. We're gonna learn Wingardium Leviosa, not Leviosa. If you remember that scene from the first movie. Would have thought maybe we would have learned it in Charms class, but there we go. Should be very helpful. And just like that, we learned Wingardium Leviosa. So Professor Kagawa gave us more assignments as well. And once we complete those assignments, we can learn another spell from her. So I'll complete those assignments, and we'll see you at Madame Kogawa to learn new spells. Alright, so we just finished Madame Kogawa's assignments as well. So let's explore her office real quick and see what's around. And we got our new flying instructor, so that's cool. So that was very nice of Professor Weasley to let Professor Kagawa know. So let's go explore a little more in her room. Got one more thing to read from Professor Reyes. And talking about Professor Black's decision to cancel Quidditch, which is very, very unfortunate. But let's continue on, and let's learn that new spell from Madame Kagawa. Alright, let's get it.
Reporting back, Professor. Assignments all finished.
Well done. Shows good discipline. Wisdom is a golden snitch, as they say. And you're proving a skilled seeker in that regard. Let us practice our Restore Momentum. A charm, incidentally, created to stop Quaffles from plummeting straight to the ground during a Quidditch match.
Alright, so we're gonna learn Arresto Momentum from her. Looks like the uppercase letter M. Pretty interesting, maybe for momentum. But that should slow down our enemies, so that will for sure come in handy. And let's test it out on the practice doll here. And there we go. See it in action. We stopped a boulder from rolling down the hill. and it'll make the other people's attacks a lot slower. So we can maybe test it on these books right here. So let's equip it real quick. Wherever it is, I see it in the top left corner, so let's get there. It is now equipped, so let's practice on these floating books real quick and see what we can do. And there we go, we stopped it just like that. Awesome, I'm sure that'll come in handy. So now, let's go meet Professor Fig, go talk to him, and do the first trial, Professor Racham's trial, to continue our storyline with the ancient magic. Let's check it out. Alright, so Professor Fig, we gotta meet him at the tower, and we are at the northernmost point of the map. So, you gotta go check out this trial, and we're really close, but not walking distance. But we got our nifty little broom, so let's use it to talk and continue on with Professor Fig. Alright, descend down, and looks like we might have to wait, but first, let's unlock this Flu Network area, which is Sambakar's tower. So, let's collect a couple of these lacewing flies, and we'll wait for Professor Fig and see what he has to say. And there we go, he's over there, so let's talk to him real quick and see what we gotta do.
We're not alone.
We are not. Ranrock's loyalists. Around a dozen I can see, but could be more.
Can't we apparate past them into the tower?
We could, but we've no idea what's in the tower. More importantly, however, I'd like to know why they're here. They've set up camp just ahead. I suggest we investigate a little before doing anything else. Let's go.
Might want to attempt to go stealth.
No, it isn't.
But we'll
This
see
way. And
how well that
I'd
goes. If it's an
suggest we use the
instant
disillusionment
stop,
charm here.
game over if we get caught kind of thing, then I'll have to redo this multiple times, I'm sure.
No
But
sense in
if it
announcing
somehow
our
goes out of stealth, I think it will be awesome to showcase the new spells that we have learned from all of our professors. So, let's investigate this goblin hideout, and then let's complete the first trial that Professor Racham has given us. So let's go sneak up on this loyalist warrior, and let's use Pertificus Tortalis, just like they used on Neville. Poor guy. Let's get it. I think this is the first time I've used a stealth takedown of Pertificus Tortalis, and it worked flawlessly. And look at him go like a beanstalk. So let's explore around a little bit, try and be stealthy as much as we can. Although I am pretty tempted to use R1 and throw that bag, but we got that guy with Pertificus Tortalis, and let's see how many more we can get stealthy.
There must be something here.
But when it's showcasing some of these ancient magic powers or throwing these barrels, it's so very tempting. So very tempting. But so far, our stealthy approach is working pretty well. And this guy's isolated, so it looks like we can use Pertificus Tortalis on him. But he just turns around, and looks like our stealth won't work anymore. So, time to use the ancient magic spell and take down all of these goblins and loyalist warriors of Ranrock. So, let's get it. And it looks like we are at a good level, and Professor Fig is doing a good job too, so we will be an unstoppable duo against these goblins, I believe. And looks like we got rid of all the goblins on this side of the castle, and looks like we got 2 more on the other side, and one just spawned here, but we'll make quick work of them, and we'll try to get this other guy. Might want to throw an object, or we might just want to single-handedly take him down. And he alerts and is present of us, and we'll throw that object, and we'll see what else we can do. Levitate him real quick, I see another object in the background, and let's use it right here. And just like that, we make quick work of them. So let's explore a little more, and let's figure out where this trial will take place. Alright, we got a bit lost, but that tent that we first saw
From Ranrock.
is an order from Ranrock in this letter, and they're looking for the tower as well. So looks like they're one step ahead of us right now. So let's keep exploring, but looks like we gotta face more goblins. So it's got a yellow shield, so I think we gotta cast a yellow spell on him. And we do. We put Levioso on him, and we're making quick work of him. Now let's take down these goblins, and let's get to that tower as quick as we can. He's got a red shield, but our red spell is recharging, and we used it on the other guy, so we got to wait to take down the other guy. Let's collect what they drop us, and let's make our way as soon as possible. And I just saw Professor Fig get flying over there. That goblin made him fly, so I guess these goblins are tougher than they look. Don't let their size fool you. But they should be no match, and it looks like we got one more guy to defeat. So let's take this guy down, and we get him with one hit at the end. So you saw how much health he had, you saw how much damage that spell did. That is crazy and wild. We are starting to become a powerful wizard right here. And there's the tower. There's the entrance.
It's locked.
Thanks for the assist,
An
Professor.
unlocking charm.
And it looks like we got magic rooms right there, sweeping. So let's explore a little bit of the tower before we go up. Looks very detailed and very nice, very nice.
I wonder who this
So
is.
much of a throwback.
With robes like
We
that,
see a
could be
couple
anyone.
bugs right there. Nothing too game breaking, just a little bit of the lighting being a bit buggy. It is pretty early in the game that this release, so makes sense that there be a couple day one bugs, but that's okay. And we keep progressing up,
I
and we
imagine
can
these
investigate
brooms have
some
been
of these
enchanted for
broomsticks as well.
centuries.
That's kind of
Never seen an
interesting
enchantment
as we
last
knock
this
it down and change its course of sweeping. But we're looking for Professor Rackham's portrait, and there it is. So let's go talk to him, and let's see what our first trial will consist of. Should be exciting. Should be exciting.
Hello, Professor. Did you say Sambakar's tower?
I did. Professor Bakar is a keeper you have yet to encounter. I'm glad to see that I was correct in presuming that we would meet again soon after our last encounter. Though I surmise, based on the commotion I heard, that you did not have an easy time getting to me.
We did not, Professor. We encountered goblins outside the tower.
That goblins were aware of my vault is disquieting enough. But if they have also made a connection to this tower, then the threat may be greater than I thought. All the more reason for us to move forward. Downstairs, near the entry, a reservoir of ancient magic, like those you've seen before, has been unlocked. Commanded to access a doorway. I'm afraid I cannot say more. As Professor Fig cannot join you, he and I will, in time, see you back at the map chamber. Remember what you see.
We're going to need to understand how Ranrock's loyalists knew about a tower that once belonged to a keeper. For the moment, however, you've more important things to set your mind to. A reservoir of ancient magic, I believe?
Yes, sir.
Then I shall leave matters in your increasingly capable hands. That said, be careful.
I will, sir. I'll see you back in the map chamber. A reservoir of ancient magic, downstairs, near the entry.
Alright, so the entry to the first trial is down here in the tower. And you know, we gotta take a little quick tea break, so we got some tea over there. And we can start to sense the ancient magic. So let's go find it. We're getting really, really close. Let's follow the light, and it's telling me to go to my left. And we gotta go further down. There it is. X marks the spot. Let's go investigate it. And there is our portal. Now let's enter the trial. And it looks like all of the pensive chambers that we have seen in the past. But I wonder what this trial will consist of and how it will test our mettle. But let's enter this first trial. These are the ancient magic dungeons, as I like to call them. And looks like we got to find our way across. Who knows what type of guardians we'll have to face further on. But these are super interesting dungeons. And it looks like there's nowhere to go but down. And I see some statues of some guardians. So you never know if those will come alive or what will happen. Looks like we got ancient magic traces, which has unleashed a new way to move forward. And we got some silver spectacles. Can't complain about that. Can't complain about that. So there we go. We walked through this portal and we found a way through. So that's nice. That's nice. And pretty straightforward so far. But I'm sure, whoa, that is trippy. That is trippy. We're going down, but got a path forward. And we got another portal. So let's see what it wants us to investigate. Another trace of ancient magic. So let's activate it real quick.
Something must be different.
And something must be different, our character just said. And looks like it's not straightforward, just going forward. But we got a chest, so let's open that up. Get 53 coin. And it seems like it activated the portal in the middle of the room. And we go to a new location. That is kind of wild. That is kind of wild. But we're slowly but surely making our way through. And I see 10 of those guardian statues. Oh man, we're in for some trouble.
At least I know what to expect this time.
Alright, so it says it is a pensive protector. So I presume at the end of this dungeon, we'll see another memory of the professors from years past. And that guy goes in the air, so we gotta dodge roll and make sure we're out of the way of that protector's attack. And you know, we got to use Accio and move our enemies closer. And our level is much higher than our opponents, so that is definitely helping us out. Even this pensive protector. So let's go throw these objects towards them and use it towards our benefit. There we go. Slowly but surely get through. Now a lot of these enemies I've found out, they take a while to take down sometimes, but are pretty easy and to an extent are kind of repetitive, but I'm sure there are many different variants, so be interesting to see the different types of protectors that we'll encounter through the rest of the game. But maybe we should skip ahead till we defeat this guy, and just like that, ancient magic comes in clutch. That's what we like to see. And looks like part of our next trial is moving these platforms to move forward in the dungeon. So let's go check it out. That's where Accio will come in handy. think I sensed some ancient magic from where we were coming from. So let's go check it out. There it is. Let's go investigate and see what it uncovers. And looks like it creates another tunnel for us to go through. So that is coming in quite handy. So let's keep progressing forward. That's what we want to see. Alright, let's get it, Axel. You got this, my guy. I'm kind of curious to see what our connection with ancient magic is throughout this game, because I don't think that's ever really explained. So I'm hoping by the end of the game we can see why we sense these ancient magic things, just like some other people in this world, but very few. It's like Harry Potter with a different sense. Not a connection with Voldemort, but with a connection with ancient magic. It will be also interesting to see what it is that these guardians are protecting about ancient magic. And looks like we have a couple more pensive protectors to get through. So I'll just skip ahead and we'll progress on and progress further into this dungeon. Alright, there we go. We made quick work of these pensive protectors, and we'll move on further into this dungeon. Let's solve this puzzle real quick. Accio, let's see if we can get on this platform and see what else we have to do. Looks like we can get on top, and looks like we're sensing some ancient magic. So let's go downstairs real quick and figure out the puzzle on our way through to the next part of the dungeon.
I presume I'm looking for traces of ancient magic. But where? Accio!
That's interesting. Looks like the trace of ancient magic is not on the platform, but somewhere that we need to move this platform to access. And it looks like it accessed the portal in the middle of the room. So I might skip ahead and figure out how to solve this puzzle real quick. Alright, so we had to go through the portals to rearrange and move the platforms accordingly, and I managed to do so. And so we get to move on. But that took me a while to figure out. So, you know, it was anything special. And we got the moving tiles again. But that helps us move on one step closer to completing Professor Rackham's trial. So, let's first defeat these pensive protectors. I'll skip a little bit so we don't have to. We've seen this before, so we'll see you in a bit. And there we go. Ancient magic took about a quarter of the health bar, just like that. So don't ever underestimate the power of magic. And so we progress on, and looks like we got another puzzle to solve to get through. But it looks like we got to go straight forward, as we can see the yellow marker. That will get us to the next place forward. Alright, so through the platforms, we can get around the portal, and we can progress our way forward and move our platform to the other side, just like we wanted to. And we're getting one step closer to completing this trial. I am so excited and hyped to do so. And we got one more door over here. And I can sense we are getting really close to completing this trial, as we got more of the moving platforms, and looks like a huge battleground. So let's defeat these pensive protectors, and let's carry on with the dungeon. we made quick work of these pensive protectors. We defeated the guards. And oh man, looks like we got another boss. One we haven't faced before. A pensive guardian. Looks like the one we got at Gringotts. And it looks like the bubble near the guardian was based off a spell color. So next time I probably gotta use a spell that has the same color as the bubble the pensive guardian has in the air. So there we go. We got a yellow one. And there we go. That gives us an opening. And we'll use some ancient magic on him. And it looks like when he's down it inflicts a little more damage. So we'll move ahead and see if his attack set changes at all. And we'll defeat him and get to the end of this dungeon and unlock the secrets of this trial. So the attack sets haven't really changed at all. It's the same exact ones. So we're super close to defeating the pensive guardian. And there we go. We just did it. And there is the trial.
What a relief.
So let's move forward and see what we can find out from Racham and this trial. And I see a pensive over there, so that's perfect.
Another
But I
pensive.
also see a chest to the right. So let's go check that out first. And then let's go to the pensive and learn all that we can about Percival Rackham's memories. Should be fun.
Your ability to transfigure the world around you is remarkable. What is it?
My father isn't getting better. I don't think he'll ever recover from the death of my brother.
It is agonizing to see those we love suffer.
The drought was years ago, but the pain of losing him is as deep for him now as if it had happened only yesterday. He doesn't need pretty pillars, he needs peace. What if I could help him, Professor?
You do so much for your father already.
It's not enough. I want to take away his pain.
It is tempting, I know, to use this magic that you're mastering to transfigure more than the physical world. But human emotion is a potent force unto itself. Even the most well-meaning and competent witch cannot possibly know the consequences of irrevocably manipulating it.
So I'm to watch as my father's pain destroys him.
It is not your pain to take. Every year, a student sees something sillier than I could ever imagine in their tea leaves. Oh, Miss Morganach, welcome back to Hogwarts, Professor.
That's going to take some getting used to. Professor Rickwood?
I was so pleased to hear that you'd accepted the position of Defense Against the Dark Arts, Professor.
Sit, Isadora. Tell us about your travels.
I was actually hoping that you and the others might join me at my home this evening. There's much I'd like to share with you.
That would be delightful. We shall let the others know.
Very well. I shall see you then.
another memory. Now to find a way out of here. More crystallized stone. That must be the way back to the map chamber.
Alright, so we learned more about the little girl that we saw in the first memory. And so now, let's go talk to Professor Racham and Professor Fig and let them know what we found out.
What have we here?
I'm a student at Hogwarts, sir. And this is Professor Fig.
Professor Charles Rookwood at your service. Has someone completed the first trial?
I have, Professor Rookwood. We saw you in the Pensive in Gringotts with Professor Racham.
Indeed. So, you found the portkey to access Professor Rackham's vault, and you deciphered the map within the locket you found floating above that Pensive.
I did. I found something that I can't identify floating above the last Pensive.
Ah, yes. You will find a similar artifact in each trial. You must take care to keep them safe. You will need them to complete the journey we have set forth for you. Once you have them all, we will tell you what to do with them.
Very well. Are you able to tell me anything about the next trial?
Before you proceed, I would like to speak with Charles regarding the urgent situation involving the goblins.
The goblins?
The student has seen traces of a powerful dark magic being wielded by goblin kind. They and their mentor, Professor Fig, not only encountered goblins lurking outside of San Bakar's tower, they also encountered a powerful goblin in my vault at Gringotts.
I'm afraid it would be wise to halt the trials until we know more.
We shall defer to you in this matter, of course. Now then...
Wait, Professor, the name Rookwood, do you think...
that there's a connection to Victor? Perhaps, but we can't be sure of its significance, if any. For now, tell me what you saw in the Pensive.
Before the witch from the last Pensive, Isadora, became a Hogwarts professor, she argued with Professor Racham about using magic to remove pain.
Hopefully the next Pensive provides more context. For now, we should learn what Ranrock knows. I will be honest, I've no idea where to start.
Actually, I might know of someone. I saw Serona at the Three Broomsticks speaking to a goblin once. They seemed friendly.
Well, it's worth a try. See what you can find out. Of course, don't forget...
My studies. Yes, sir.
Before you go...
Alright, let's go talk with the new painting, Charles Rookwood. Let's see what he has to say. And I think he's the Rookwood's
Professor,
ancestor
have you
that is
encountered
chasing us.
swirling traces of magic in the world? Aside from those along our path.
Not that I recall. What are they?
Evidence of the Keeper's efforts to manipulate the power of ancient magic during our time. If I am correct, and I usually am, you should be able to use them to inform and enhance your own magic.
Thank you, sir. I will look out for them.
Looks like we are on a race for time, as we got people hot on our tail with Ranrock, the goblin, and Rookwood, who is also chasing us. So, understandably, they don't trust us. So, we gotta earn their trust by completing their trials and showcasing that we are okay with the ancient magic. And I think this is a really good place to continue on in the next part, in the next video. So, thank you for the support. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and take care.
Spectacular news! The broom upgrade's ready. Stop by the shop when you can.